Welcome to Apothecary Talks. I'm Dr. Jillian Stansbury. This is a series aimed at helping beginner herbalists learn the actions of herbs and a few examples of materia medica options that fill each niche action. Please refer to our other videos for introduction to this series and to learn more herbal actions. There's also a great deal of free content on my website, healingartsapothecary.org. Link to other podcasts, some PDF files, some recipes, some blog posts that also help beginner herbalists. This series is devoted to creating custom herbal formulas, which are always going to be more effective than just pulling a commercial bottle off of the store shelf. Once you really know herbs well, you can custom and tailor your formulas to a person with stress, a person with allergies, a person with some sort of organ deficiency, complaints that are due to diabetes, complaints that are due to nervous system, complaints that are due to digestive insufficiency, inflammatory burden, and so on, and be highly effective in helping patients through a variety, or your family and yourself, through a variety of different complaints. This particular recording is going to take a look at stimulants and looking at the actions of herbs and learning some materia medica for each action is an important step in mastering the approach to herbal medicine. Mastering herbs is a first step to becoming an herbalist. This short segment is going to take a look at herbal stimulants. We don't often use stimulants as herbalists. Things like caffeine, for example, is one of the most known stimulants, but we're going to take the concept a little farther to refer to some of those plants that are stimulating to digestion, circulation, metabolism. So not just a caffeine-like stimulant, though we'll give it a nod. Stimulants may be found in various plants that in this context might stimulate digestive acid, hydrochloric acid, digestive enzymes, peristalsis in the gut. We could also use the term stimulant to apply to things that promote circulation. In Chinese medicine, they would call those blood movers. And we might also use the term stimulant to refer to a metabolic stimulant. When there's metabolic insufficiency, such as hypothyroid state, or sometimes just the aging process slows down how readily we can digest food and utilize it, and our circulation might slow. Sometimes metabolic support might give us that little bit of oomph to improve fatigue, help us lose weight, help our muscles function more efficiently. In general, stimulants tend to be somewhat toxic or spicy or hot or energetically strong substances. And as such, we tend to use stimulants in a smaller amount in formulas than we would the nutritive base formula. I sometimes think of selecting our formulas by prioritizing those nutritive base herbs, alteratives and adaptogens, or purely food-like herbs, alfalfa and nettles and hawthornberry, that form the base of your formula. And if you think of the base like a triangle with the other prongs pointing upward, a stimulant might be one of those adjuvant herbs or one of those synergistic herbs that helps drive the energy in the right direction. So many hot, spicy alkaloidal plants are used in smaller amounts. Let's take a look at a few examples. Nervous system stimulants are obvious. Things like caffeine, which is a methylxanthine in terms of biochemistry, promotes adrenergic activity. It's a sympathetic nervous system stimulant, and everyone knows what that feels like. It can feel a bit jittery and jagged. We could also take a quick look here at digestive stimulants. The word cholagogue is a new action word for us. A cholagogue is those types of herbs that promote bile flow. This is in general a very beneficial effect to help us digest fats and absorb nutrients and fat-soluble vitamins. However, you don't want to stimulate bile flow if you have a blocked bile duct, like a gallstone, causing biliary spasms. However, when your gallbladder functions poorly or is insufficient, cholagogues are ideal to help us digest better, and improve biliary function. Many bitter herbs are thought to promote bile flow and hydrochloric acid production. Anthraquinone glycosides are a rather harsh group of constituents that promote peristalsis in the intestines. And if you don't need them or take too large of a dose, they can create a cramping kind of explosive diarrhea if used incorrectly. So this is a good example of putting just a little bit of a cholagogue or a little bit of an anthraquinone glycoside in a formula for digestive or biliary insufficiency, but not too much. It's a synergist, not the base of a formula. Circulatory stimulants would fit the idea of a blood mover in China. Things like ginkgo, vinca, achillea, that's yarrow, angelica, that's dongquai, are some of the classic blood movers of China that stimulate circulation and oxygen delivery about the body. And modern scientific research shows that many of these are indeed vasodilating, opening up the blood vessel aperture. They inhibit platelet activity, making platelets be sticky and gummy and inflammatory in the bloodstream. They're platelet anti-aggregators. And then some of the hot spices that are circulatory stimulants include ginger, cayenne, cinnamon, that we would also consider adding into a formula in smaller amounts. And adding those hot spicy herbs sometimes helps get the primary nutritive ingredients absorbed more readily and creates the right energetic backdrop for our formulas to work. And then we have our secretory stimulants. Things like licorice are known to improve mucus secretion from the intestinal lining. So when there's intestinal dryness, or we want to heal ulcers, or there's inflammatory bowel diseases, these can help repair and rejuvenate the gut mucosal lining. Iris versicolor is a secretory stimulant promoting bile and saliva and hydrochloric acid secretion, but just a little bit in your formula to prevent overstimulating the gut. And then pilocarpus is a profound secretory stimulant. It's available by prescription from pharmacies, the isolated pilocarpine alkaloid, and used for Sjogren's syndrome, for dry mouth and esophageal dryness or dry eyes to instill it as eye drops is another example. And herbalists will sometimes prescribe that entire herb. Metabolic stimulants that improve our metabolic rate include ATP production or improve signal transduction at the cellular level. Cayenne peppers featured here, and Google, that's Commiphora mucal, is known to improve iodine uptake and promote thyroid activity. Or coleus promotes cyclic AMP and improves cellular responses. I know that's a fast and furious review, but there's much more information available here in my textbook series, Herbal Formulas for Healthcare Professionals, available from Chelsea Green. I also lead ethnobotanical field trips to the Andes and Amazon. If you're interested in participating, please write me at bghealingarts.apothecary@gmail.com. We typically do this once a year or every other year, depending on if there's a pandemic going on. You can also visit my website, healingartsapothecary.org, for other free content. We have links to other podcasts and radio recordings I've done for others. We have my own recipes. We have my writings in a blog form that are also some advanced for physicians and healthcare professionals, and some fairly simple for beginner herbalists, all available as free content on my website. So thanks so much for watching Apothecary Talks, and I hope you will continue learning more at other action and beginner herbalist segments.